Who do you turn to for advice? You face a tough situation, where do you go? Peers? Experts? The mirror? Your dog? Mentors? Why is it so hard to find a mentor? I mean, it's easy to find people who are bossy, self-centered, critical. But it's hard to find a mentor. I mean, sure, everybody wants to add value, but they're bossy, self-centered, critical. Why is it so hard to find a mentor? For me, it's difficult because I catch someone in a moment of success. By definition, I wouldn't want to be mentored by somebody who wasn't having success. And so, comfortable, blinded by their success, they really can't give good advice because they don't know the outcome of their decisions, and neither do I. But that's not true of dead people. If you take a long enough look at an entire lived life, you can see the outcome of their decisions. They will show you what they thought in certain scenarios, how they weighed those outcomes, and then you can watch and see what happens. And if you look at enough perspectives on a life, you can see through fog, ideological revisions, confusion, and you can see the outcome of their decisions. Dead people can be our best mentors. I know, you're probably thinking to yourself, how can a dead person really understand what I'm going through right now? Maybe I should rephrase that. How can a dead person provide relevant information to me now that's practical? Why don't we ask them? George Santayana lived from 1863 to 1952. His life spanned from the Franco-Prussian War, which resulted in a unified Germany, all the way to the Korean War, armistice, stalemate, police action, whatever you call it. It stamped U.S. foreign policy to this day. To Santayana is attributed the oft-repeated but seldom understood quote, "Those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it." Solomon, the third king of Israel, is widely attributed the writer of the book of Ecclesiastes. And he writes, whatever has happened will happen again. Whatever has been done will be done again. There's nothing new under the sun. I love this. Isn't it beautiful? It's full of despair, darkness. It's like the blues. But like the blues, there's a ray of light here. There's hope. It's Mark Twain who said, "History doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes." Even dead people think dead people make great mentors. The implication is clear. We can plan, prepare, experiment, using the past as a testing ground, as a laboratory. Now, this is going to sound strange from a guy who started this by suggesting we take advice from dead people. But let's start somewhere practical and pragmatic. We all compare cybersecurity with the military, technology with the military. We talk about deployment. We talk about threat intelligence, HUMINT. We use left of bang in all of our agile terminology, sprints and planning. And that's a military term. There's a book, Left of Bang, forward by James Mattis. We don't get credit for that one. SOC, JSOC, Fusion Center, all of them. Someone in a drab olive green uniform came up with it first. But you know who had it before the military? Colleges and think tanks. You know how we talk about game theory like we know what we mean? Well, in 1954, the Rand Corporation invented it. In fact, they produced a book that you can find called The Complete Strategist. Now, it's not spelled like it sounds. They threw extra vowels in and they replaced I's with Y's just to make it hard to find, I presume. But strategy became the military's domain from think tanks. In fact, war colleges were established because military leaders and politicians saw the ineffective application of strategy in their militaries and thought to establish a program to develop and explore this. Because academia had the lead in strategy, the military was behind, and the military was tired of missing out. Think tanks stole it from colleges. Colleges, well, they stole it from kings, regents, and people whose lives depended on strategy in older times. Stealing seems like the thing to do, so let's do it boldly. First, we are going to come to a shared definition of strategy. This is crucial. It's often as important to know what something is not as it is to know what something is. Second, we're going to walk through 4 generations of military strategy and their characteristics, how they apply to you. Now, you've heard about the digital generation, the millennials, the boomers, the greatest generation. This is the same thing with military and their application of strategy. Third, we're going to apply these strategies and their characteristics amongst these generations to you, your situations, your specific problems that you're looking at. How do I organize my team? How do I define my services? How do I perform a digital transformation? Where does this fit in the realm of strategy? Or how does strategy support this? And as we walk through these, you're going to have eureka moments. So eureka is an old word too. It is an old Greek word, and it means I found it. And where it comes into our lexicon and verbiage is these Klondike prospectors that were prospecting for gold in California and in Alaska. When they found gold, they would yell out, "Eureka, I found it." It is that kind of a moment. You're going to have those moments. But even better than those moments, you're going to find by choosing to look at strategies as tools and not characteristics or behaviors only, but as tools, you'll become a magnificent strategist. You will know when to use which tools in what situations, and you will use them deftly. Magnificent strategist. Better strategist? Decent strategist. What is strategy? I think too many of us accept false definitions for words that we use day in, day out. And it's fatal here. So strategy is not an org chart with a hiring plan. Strategy is not, it's not good decision making. Strategy, it's not the leadership retreat where everybody else works and we're at the cabin in the woods. Strategy is the art and science of employing your resources so that you move to a position where you can make more, better choices. It starts with evaluating choices that reduce risk and increase opportunity. It starts with asking yourself, how can I be in a better position than I am now? We're going to steal some insights here. We're going to steal insights from the military. It's easy. It's natural. And it's ironic. I mean, it's actually ironic, not like Alanis Morissette ironic. The concept and the word strategy arose from the Greek word strategos, And you can hear two root words in there. You hear stratos, which means spread out, right? You probably hear stratosphere. And agos, which means to lead. Now, I'm a word nerd, and I love the Greek because it is so precise. I'm still surprised that they nailed technology strategy. Leading something spread out. Feels right. Here's what's coming. Strategy, historical warfare, and modern technology. We're going to use William S. Lynn's book, Fourth Generation Warfare. I cannot recommend it to you highly enough. Get the book. We'll put a link down here for you. We're going to use Lynn's taxonomy. Now, taxonomy is really a way of putting ideas in connected boxes so you can see linkage between thoughts. Lynn groups war into 4 generations. Now, as we go through these, remember, they're not one's better than another. They're characteristics of an era. Like the millennials, Generation X, boomers, the greatest generation. Hey, which one am I? Well, that's disappointing. What we've covered so far is that dead people can be great mentors. We've laid the foundation to go dig in the past and learn strategy from dead people. Second, we defined strategy. Third, we opened up the generations of war that William S. Lynn produces in his book, Fourth Generation Warfare. Next week, we're going to go into these generations and pull practical tools and examples that you can use to be a magnificent strategist. Thank you for joining me. Would you please subscribe, comment, and we'll see you in a week.